Hey Econ class, in this video I'm going to teach you about increasing the money supply and how the Fed goes about doing it. The book uses all sorts of balance sheets, and I'm going to ditch those for this video just to kind of get you an idea as to what actually happens, at least in my world of drawings. Over here on the left you have the Fed, and over there on the right you have Bank X, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to call it. Now let's say that the Fed gets together. Remember, the Fed is made up of the three parts. There's the Board of Governors, there's the FOMC, and then there's the 12 district banks. Let's say the FOMC's gotten together and they decide they want to increase the money supply. This is actually called expansionary monetary policy, and as I'm going to abbreviate it, XM. So how would the Fed go about increasing the money supply? You might argue, well, they're just going to print more money. Wrong. That's not what they're going to do. How the Fed increases the money supply is that they will buy bonds. Now, how do I know that? How do I know that? Well, one, I'm the AP Econ teacher, but two, I remember there's something called this mnemonic device. If they want to buy, they will boost. Or if they want to boost the economy, they will buy. So buy, boost. Sell bonds, they will shrink the economy. Buy, boost. Sell, shrink. That's what the Fed needs to do. So if they want to boost the money supply, as we looked at up here, then they will buy bonds. And where are they going to buy them from? Well, in my two building situation, two building universe, the bank is holding on to these bonds. So it has a bond from the government. It's actually an asset for the bank. It's a good thing. It's going to get bought by the Fed. So let's say that this bond was for $1 million. And so that bond is going to go to the Fed. Now, why would the bank do that? Maybe the Fed is actually going to give them a good price on this bond. Maybe this $1 million, they're going to give them a little bit more. Maybe they're going to give them better interest on it. But anyways, let's just assume that it's equal in this case. What the Fed does is then they will give them what the Fed has, which is money. $1 million in cash money. They'll give it to the bank. Now, how does this increase the money supply? Well, if you notice, or if you remember, M1 is made up of cash. It's made up of transaction deposits, and it's made up of traveler's checks, the dumbest thing ever to include in M1. But anyways, they're included. And if you noticed, this $1 million bond is not in M1. So what the federal government has done is given monies to the banks. Now, what is the money going to do while it's sitting in the bank? How does this actually matter to you? Well, you're a normal person. You use a bank. So what the bank is going to do is it's going to loan out, and we'll see this when we get to the money multiplier in the next video, but it's going to loan out 90% of that money to you. $900,000. Maybe not to you directly, but to average people. So this is how you are impacted by this. Now, what are you going to do with that money? Well, you're you. You're going to go out and buy a speedboat. You're going to go out and you're going to buy a vacation in the Ozarks or something. I don't know, whatever you spend your money on. And you wouldn't have done that unless the federal government intervened, unless the Federal Reserve intervened and bought those bonds, thereby increasing the money supply. So this is what ends up happening. If you follow along in the book, it goes over these accounting sheets, and those are nice and all, but I think this is more helpful for you. The bond goes to the Fed in exchange for some cash, and the bank keeps 10% of that and loans the rest of that out to you. Remember the 10% because of the required reserve rate. Anyways, that's increasing the money supply. Next video, we're just going to talk about the money multiplier.